Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to my fellow Igbos and my Yoruba nation, vigilant, strategic people, authentic Yoruba nation people. I want you to listen to me and listen good. I am your sister. I'm your co-activist, agitator for a new nation, a Yoruba nation. And I know that you Igbos are striving to get your Biafra. Focus on that. In the last 3 days, you already know my name, but if you don't, I'm Dr. Omo Milawal. In the last 3-4 days, there's been this hobnobbing about the useless garbage nonsense called Autobiography, written by none other than the man they call Maradona, that no one else will have read except people that want to torpedo themselves. Foolish people that gather together to eulogize a man who destroyed the first instance of enacting a democracy in a country that has been railrun, roughshod by the military. And when we got the opportunity, a single opportunity to make Nigeria a democratic entity, one foolish, coward, wicked, self-centered, liver lily is a coward man, and he's supposed to be a military man whose life should be to protect the citizens that he claimed that he loved. Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida does not love Nigeria. If he loved Nigeria, 1993 fair and equitable election would not have been annulled. That man does not love anybody. You are seeing a narcissistic man who loved himself so much that he was not ready to sacrifice anything for the nation he claimed to love. This man, out of cowardice, selfishness, self-aggrandizement, kept quiet for 32 years. My people, I want you to listen and get something. If you do not get anything out of it, get something out of it, that Babangida's useless autobiography should not even be given the daylight where there will be woto between Igbo and Yoruba. I may not be a military woman. I may not be a lawyer. But strategically thinking, I know where this idiotic, self-centered man is trying to lead every one of you. And he's trying to lead you by the nose so that you will not see clearly. My Igbo people, yes, the so-called 1996 coup of January 15 may not have been a sole organized coup by the Igbos. If other extractions the Yorubas joined, and probably some other ones that I do not know, then that doesn't make it an Igbo coup again. It makes it the kind of coup where armed, or what I would call military men, were dissatisfied with the situation of the country as at that time. But whether you believe it or not, Nzegu, Kaduna Nzegu, was the originator. He originated it and invited other people that will join. Because you had Brigadier Olutoye, when he said that, yes, Nzegu consulted him. It was not another Yoruba man that consulted him. It was Nzegu that consulted him. And when he asked him few questions like, if this is successful, do you want to be the president? Nzegu said no. Is it going to be peaceful? He said no. There's going to be bloodshed. And this, Olutoye said, he doesn't want to be part of it. If it is going to be bloodshed, he doesn't want to be in it. And that was that. But the likes of Ademoyega and some other Yorubas joined because they believed that it is necessary that power change hands. And that wasn't bad. That's what the military do. Military sees something that is not going on right, they intervene. And at that time, it was a military government we have, not a civilian one. So I can't even blame anybody. But now, after 32 good years, this idiotic man, one of the cabals, and I want to tell you, both my Yoruba people and my Igbo friends, don't start any unnecessary agitation. In the last 32 years, these idiots have not said anything sensible. As a matter of fact, it's going through some it's going through something that I know that is imminently biting him. And whatever it is going to have a full dosage of it. Babangida did not rise up and just write an autobiography. Let me tell you, and I want you to listen. That useless epitaph he has written about the coup and all the rest of the other things he has spoken about is a form of distraction. It's one of his antics. It is one of his tactics. And the so-called Fulani, you know he's a Fulani man. They're very cunning. And they are looking for every which way to stop the Igbos in their track, looking for Biafra, to stop the Yoruba from agitating for a Yoruba nation. Who else can they use but a butter, sweet, honey-coated mouth of the evil genius, Babangida? If Babangida is bold, what is now putting in his useless book should have been said 31 years ago, probably a year after, when he will have assessed the situation, be contrite, humbled himself, and then will come out and tell us what actually happened. But he didn't do that. He's a coward man. He's a self-serving man. Self-aggrandizement. And was that the only thing that this man did? What about all the lies he has pummeled to the ground? What about all the other disasters that emanated from this man? That's why you, my Igbo people, if you have something important that you want to do, I think you should focus and do that. Babangida's autobiography is a distraction, a mega distraction. The Fulanis are looking for whichever way they can to stop both the Yorubas and the Igbos from focusing on our agenda, on our mission, and a vision of a better Biafra and a better Yoruba nation. So they have tried everything. They have killed, they have maimed, they have destroyed. But now they want to cajole. Now they want to brainwash. And I can see that some of our so-called Yoruba elders are already brainwashed because they are eulogizing the useless epitaph that Babangida wrote. And as for you, my Igbo brothers, you are now getting agitated, that there should be paid reparation. But you already said you are going. You are already going to Biafra. And some of you that are not ready to go, let them go with their Fulani bastard brothers. If you are ready to go, whatever Babangida may have written should not bother you. As a matter of fact, I believe that you should scoff at it, spit at it, and rubbish it into the dustbin, because that is where it belongs. Babangida is not going to tell any one of us. I'm not that young, you know. When the coup started in 1967, I was 11 years old in 1967. And I listened to news. I heard up from people that were, I have a brother, an uncle who was in the Air Force. I have another uncle that was in the Navy. We have policemen, we have people that are in the military. And we got snippets of information. My Igbo brothers, I'm not saying it is the Igbo coup, but it's the coup that Nzegu masterminded. He had people that joined him, and they joined him because they believed that the army was not being run as effectively as it should. Nepotism, non-diligent, all kinds of rubbish was being perpetrated at that time. And I can understand. Is that not what we are witnessing now? Both against the Yorubas and the Igbos and other extractions in Nigerian space. By who? The same people. The same Fulani, who we didn't even know where they came from. They are now marching on our heads, taking our assets and resources and using it to develop their own place. And our own so-called elders, rulers, who have lost their sense of wisdom, who have no discernment, are trooping after them because of what they think they're going to eat. And I tell them, you are eating the bread of sorrow, and you are drinking water of affliction. Because the people you are following, they are dehumanizing your people, they are denigrating your people, they are killing your people, maiming your people, destroying assets worth billions, kidnapping your people. And out of your stupidity and your imbecility, you still want to join them to be one Nigeria. One Nigeria, my foot. Is that what is called one Nigeria? Where Bodejo has its own army. Where Toju Bello has been killing both in Benue and kidnapping all over Yoruba territory. And yet, you refuse to stand for your people. Because of your self-aggrandizement, your selfishness, your wickedness, and your stupidity. Your stupidity is a compound one. You, my Yoruba elders. You are not showing any intelligence in spite of the fact that you said you are educated. You just read books. You are not educated. If you are educated, your common sense should tell you that when someone, either your mate, your subordinate, or your superior, wants to turn you into a servant, into a slave, you should resist it. I haven't seen most of you elders, Yoruba elders, resisting this Fulani bravadocio nonsense. Instead, you are conspiring, you are complicit, you are colluding every step of the way with them. And they're cutting away not only your assets, not only your resources, not your land, they're killing your people like they're killing chicken. And you kept quiet because you want to have a new plane, a new yacht, a position in the Senate. Useless! You've been in the Senate. What are you doing there? What law have you enacted that benefits the masses? Is it not your own pocket? Your stomach infrastructure, your bank infrastructure, pocket infrastructure that you are minding? What have you done for the common man? There is no free school from age 3 to 18, which is found in any civilized society. Elementary and secondary education is supposed to be free. We can afford it. But your bastard are paying yourself 30 million to do what? All the nonsense, the various activities that you are engaging in. Is that what is called progress? Nigeria is 100 years behind. 100 years behind in advancement in technology. And what have you? There's no light, there's no road, there's no water. And there is fear all over the land. And you said you want to have one Nigeria. My Igbo brothers, you better wake up. Forget about all the nonsense Babangida has written. He wrote it for us so that he can, the reason why he wrote it, whether you believe it or not, is because he wants Yorubas that are bent on getting Yoruba nation to have an uproar. He wrote it that you Igbos can start agitating, getting worked up with the Yorubas, with the government of the day, and asking for reparation, apology, and all the rest of that. You don't need it. With or without it, you are thriving. Are you not thriving? Are you not doing exactly what you want to do? You have several banks in Nigeria. Nobody is stopping you. And there are men and women of you in the Senate and House of Assembly. You have your Ezes in your own land. So what do you care about the validation of General Gowon, Tinubu, or from anybody for that matter? Do you need validation from anybody? Have you not validated yourself as a success? Why then are you worried about this silly, stupid stuff Babangida wants you to worry about? But Babangida has released that book now because he and his cabals have realized that we are bent on living one Nigeria, one useless contraption called Nigeria. And because they don't want us to go, they have to devise a means. And what is the means? An uproar like this. Something to distract our attention. But you Yorubas, wise Yorubas, you wise Igbos, you should tell Babangida to go to hell with his autobiography. Let him write it for his Almajiris. We have read more inspiring autobiographies than that. We don't want to hear what he has to say. He can pocket his Almajiri autobiography. You should go and tell them that story. We don't want to hear about it. And whether he's not even repenting. Can you see him when he's talking? That man has no remorse for what he did. Not only to Abiola, not to Delegiwa, not to Vatsa. And I think Vatsa was probably an Hausa man. That man did not regret. But Babangida did not regret. He did not offer apologies. He said he regretted. Of course he should regret because he did an heinous crime. And if my Yoruba people, the elders that were there on that day, are balls, if you have the temerity, you should call your policemen, your DSS, handcuff Babangida and take him to prison and throw away the key. He has admitted by his own mouth. He has appended it as a useless autobiography. And you're all there donating and clapping hands. You must be crazy, oh. I don't know what you are drinking, what you are smoking. But let me tell you, Tramadol has wasted your minds. Codeine has done you injustice. For you to listen to that garbage Babangida has to throw out and you are clapping for him and donating, you are crazy. Somebody has messed up a whole nation of over 230 million people and you are clapping that he told the truth. Which truth? Does Babangida understand what truth is all about? He's a betrayer. He's a traitor. He's a pariah. He's a scum of the earth. Pray, my Igbo people, my Yoruba family, pray that we will never get another Ibrahim Babangida as a friend or a leader. He's an atrocious, treacherous, wicked, self-centered, self-aggrandizement, coward man. Is not fit to even be a soldier. It's not fit. He now wanted to shift the blame on Abacha, who is no longer here to defend his own integrity. As everybody knows, Abacha is a no-nonsense. What about him trying to pretend as if he loves Nigeria? Babangida loves himself. He's a narcissist. And for those of you Igbos and Yorubas that went there, especially our ex-vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, I say shame on you. With all your education, with all your bravado, you have no wisdom. You have education but no wisdom. And I'm sure later Obafemi Awolowo, where he is now, will be shaking his head. And the fact that you are even married to his granddaughter, you'll be wondering how a man like you get to marry his granddaughter. You have no conviction, I'm sorry to say it. You have no conviction, no, Mr. Osinbajo. And I am so disappointed. I am so disappointed in you. Because I was thinking that when they asked you to come and do that, the first thing you would tell them is that over your dead body. But it wasn't over your dead body. It was on top of your chest. You took it because you think it was an honor. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace, oh! Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. That was a disgrace performance. Yes, you are eloquent. After all, you have a PhD. You should be eloquent. But for you to get out and do that synopsis for Babangida's book, you have let a lot of people down. You have let a lot of people down. I used to commend, but since you took the VP with Buhari, I lost my respect for you. If I have as much as intelligence as they claim that you have, hell will freeze over before I become VP for a man like Buhari, a nincompoop, an imbecile, a cow father, a cow lover, a Fulani man for that matter, vicious and wicked. Well, you have disgraced us. You have disgraced the Yoruba entity as a race, Mr. Osinbajo. But that's not where I'm going. I know when you get back home, you will get friends that will call you, the ones that have the balls to tell you that you have disgraced the entire Yoruba race. As I am saying, my Igbo people, don't get unnecessary hyperactive over Babangida's book. It's a useless book. It does not have any utility for where you are today. If a man did not have the temerity after doing something as heinous as cancelling a democratically elected election and had to come out 32 years later to say he did it, who among us will even trust anything he put in that book. Babangida is a blatant liar. And when he says his lies, he smiles so that all of you can smile with him. It's a wicked bastard. And I don't care what anybody says. Those of you that he has turned into millionaires and billionaires during his reign, you are holding blood money. You are holding blood money. I don't care what you do with it. It is blood money. And you will all pay for it. Asiwaju, you are on the throne. What Babangida has said, if it resonated in your spirit, Babangida should have been handcuffed from that place. But I can see it's like a quid pro quo. Want to feather his nest because he did you a favor. He did you a favor, and he did a whole nation a disfavor. And because of you, one single individual out of over 220 million people, you are going to let Babangida walk away with that treacherous, heinous, wicked act. You see, you yourself do not love the so-called Nigeria. You don't even love your own people. You realize it was one of these coup, either the first one or the second one, that Adamu Lagun was killed. Fajuyi was killed. Even in the so-called war, Banjo, who supported Biafra, was killed. Not by anybody, but by Ojukwu. You now have the temerity to go out there, Asiwaju, and start eulogizing Babangida. When it was during Babangida, Abacha's regime, that you went out of the country. Because your life was in jeopardy too. And now, all of you are clapping for Babangida. How are the mighty falling? You have shown it to people in Abuja. We have had it in Lagos. And it has reverberated all over Nigeria. Shame on all of you. Shame. Compound shame on all of you for listening, sitting, talking and clapping for the useless autobiography of a coward soldier man. Wicked man. So, my Igbo people, what I want to tell you, and I wish you will get wisdom out of it, don't look back. You are trying to go back into the past to foment and to argue and to discuss why the Igbos were not the originator of this or that. Event has overcome this situation. Let's move forward. Let's see how we can get our new nation and let the Fulanis go back to the Sahel desert and die and roast if they want to roast to ashes. Why should you start agitating now? So you want the government to do? You can start doing whatever you want to do in your own land. Start building bridges. Start constructing airports, seaports. Now that Ashwaji is there, you can talk to him. He has heard what Babangida said. You can now go to him and say, do you see now? We need to have this, we need to have that in our own region. And you too. You have your region, but you prefer to go everywhere else and develop it. How much do you love your own land? How much? Because if I were you, I would not be spending money and building mansions and companies in Lagos. Because Lagos does not belong to Igbo, whether you like it or not. Go and develop your area, because when we eventually have our land, there will be laws that may not be that palatable to everybody. You see what Trump is doing now? He's sending back people that he thought or he believed do not belong there. The new laws that will emanate from the Yoruba nation may not be suitable for everybody. Whether it's suitable for them or not, it is going to be our nation. And we can damn well please do what we want. So that's why I'm advising you now, with your tons and billions of naira, start building in your land. Go to Abakaliki, Nnewi, Enugu, and all the land in the Igbo place and start building and start constructing. We don't want to come back another 5-10 years and say, we wish we'd have done that. Start doing it now. Let Elumelu take his UBA to wherever he wants to take it to in the Igbo land. Because when we get Yoruba nation, he might not like all the laws that we make. So let him go and establish where he's comfortable, in his hometown, in his people's place. The same thing with Fulanis. They will have to go. Whether they like it or not, they will go. They will go. It's a matter of time. So, my purpose of coming out is to talk to us, the Igbos and the Yorubas. Get understanding. Get this knowledge. Babangida has come out to put a wedge in whatever is going on between Yorubas and the Igbos. Cause a rift between us. And throw us into confusion. Cause a distraction so that we will not be able to move forward. But if we are smart, as I know we are, we must discard all the nonsense. You must forbid to even look at the book. I will not buy the book for 10 naira. I understand he's sending it for 50,000. How much does the government pay people to go and get a copy of his book? He should donate it free. So that his almajiri can tear it and use it to clean their asses. Their stinking, dirty asses. If you want to read it, let them read it and tell you what the garbage he puts in there. I will not spend 1 naira of my money to buy Babangida's book. So, my Igbo friends and neighbors, do not let the nonsense and the stupidity of this man torpedo you from your mission. Your mission is Biafra. My Yoruba nation, do not pay attention to the nonsense. Let all our elders, our foolish ones among them, they serving among our Yoruba elders, the coward Yoruba elders, and probably the imbecile ones among them. Let them quibble and let them worry. We are not worried. We are not moved by anything. Even Falano, at the age that this thing happened, knew Babangida is a liar. Showore has told him that much. Fakpo would have said Babangida deserves a bullet. And I say he deserves stones. Stones. Common man must use stones. We have no firearms. We have no AK-47, but we can pick up stones and bulldoze his head. Babangida should be stoned. He has messed up a whole nation. I don't know how many generations is that in 32 years. That's like about 9 generations that has wasted. May he not make the 10th generation so that he can take his rubbish and nonsense out of this space, out of that contraption called Nigeria. He has stolen enough to last him for another 100 years, but he will not enjoy it in peace. The peace of God, the unparalleled peace of God, has eluded Babangida. He has no peace, and that's why he brought out the useless autobiography. He will not have peace. Already, the Lord is meeting him with his punishment. He will not walk in 2 sandals or in 2 shoes with that leg till he leaves this earth. I say that. by the grace of God. He will not walk again with his 2 feet. So let me tell you, no matter what the Fulani may say, we are still Yoruba, and we are going to get our Yoruba nation. If they like, let them turn themselves into demons. They will be exorcised. And they will go where they belong. The Israelites did not die in Egypt. They left. And when they did, they left as millionaires and billionaires. Fulani will go. The weapon of the wickedness will come to an end. And that's the honest truth. They will live and they will go. Because the God that I know that I serve is still up there, working in the affairs of men. And he has already said it. We should not be afraid. We should not be dismayed. It will help us. He says it will strengthen us and help us with the right hand of his righteousness. So we are not afraid of Fulani. They do not have 2 heads or 4 hands. When the time is ripe and the time is now, Fulani will know what Yorubas are made of. So my brothers, the Igbos, go and relax. Keep on doing what you are doing. And let Babangida keep on squirming. He's squirming. Let him keep on eating the pieces of his regret. We don't care. That is his forte. Let him cry. As a matter of fact, he cannot cry anymore. He's a narcissist. They don't cry. They justify, they rationalize everything. Let him go and rationalize his wickedness. God is going to deal with him. And already he's getting his dosage of punishment little by little. And by the time he leaves this space, he's going to wish he was never born. That's my summation, though. I don't have too much to say today. But my Igbo people, take something from what I've just said. Thank you. My Yoruba nation people, thank you all the time. It's lovely to come out again and talk to us. Stay blessed. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm your friend, your family, your DNA in blood, Dr. Omomilawa. So long. Bye-bye.